What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of the Dense Pixels podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Brad, joined by my co-hosts, Micah.
Hey.
And Terrence.
What's up?
It is console launch week this week, which is weird that they're both coming out within days of each other. I cannot remember this ever happening before. We'll talk all about the new consoles later in the show. Micah has a Series X. He's noodled with it a little bit. And of course, next week we'll have more to say about PS5 as far as first-hand impressions. But Micah, you wanted to talk about the two games that you've played on the Series X so far.
Yeah, one of them is on Game Pass right now, and it is Tetris Effect Connected. And I haven't gotten too deep into it, like with the multiplayer and stuff like that, but it's actually like it's Tetris Lumines.
I had Tetris Effect for PlayStation 4.
Uh-huh.
That was a game that I really enjoyed playing. Like I turned all the lights out in my office and put on headphones, and that was a really dope experience.
Yeah, man. It's like, it's like what I imagine people who bought lava lamps when they saw those for the first time. That experience that they had, like, whoa, man, like it's falling down and then going up and like all the colors and shit, right? Like that's what this is. It's beautiful. It's Tetris.
Now you're making me think about getting Tetris Effect when it comes out on PS5 and like taking an edible and then playing it.
But yeah, it's great, man. It's great. I still have to, kind of dig into it. But I'm enjoying it so far. Game Pass is paying off. But I spent most of my time with the other game that I played, Yakuza Like a Dragon, and yeah, I really like the Yakuza games, man. Like, they're this weird mix of like gangster goofball gangster movie, right? Like there are some serious parts to it, and there are some just straight out, but all the characters are goofy. In it, you play as this guy named Ichiban Kasuga. He is a low-level Yakuza for a family. The patriarch of that family is kind of like a father figure to him. And one day, one of the members of the family shoots a rival, and the patriarch, who Ichiban really like adores, right? He really looks up to him. One day, the patriarch says, "Hey, I'm gonna need you to fall on the sword because I can't. This guy that shot this other Yakuza can't go to jail. I'm gonna need you to go to jail for him, and so that we could keep the family together." And he's like, "You saved my life. I've been looking forward to this moment so that I could repay you for that. I will gladly do whatever amount of time they give me." And he gets locked up for 18 years. And then he comes back and he's like, "Hey, boss, I'm out. I can join the family again." And the boss turns into Mariah Carey, and he's like, I don't know her. Who are you?
So basically, the premise is an extended version of the ultimate scene in Rock and Rolla, essentially.
Yeah.
Except it takes the entire game to exact revenge and not just 2 seconds.
Right. And so it's everything about Yakuza, that you like or dislike is in here, right? Long, overly serious cutscenes. Like cutscenes so long that the screen on the Xbox dimmed because there was no activity.
Yeah, what the fuck?
On the controller. I was just sitting there watching it, and I'm like, "Oh shit, something's wrong with the Xbox." And it's like, "Oh no, it's just this everybody's fucking loquacious, and they're just talking and talking and talking." And then with a bunch of goofball stuff, right? The only thing that's different. The major thing that's different is the combat. when you first get into combat, because I didn't know too much about this game going into it.
Oh, did you not know the combat was different?
I did not know the combat.
Yeah, that's the main. That's the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah.
I see that now. And so you approach this guy and they're like, they give me a lot of tutorials, and I'm like, I don't need no tutorials. This is like the 8th Yakuza game.
Right.
Come on, man. So
They don't call it like a dragon for nothing.
yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
so it's a full-blown turn-based RPG. And after the first battle, even the main character is like, yeah, I kind of see myself as a hero, like that game I play, Dragon Quest. Oh yeah, I know that game, Dragon Quest. Like, yeah, I really like that game, Dragon Quest. Like, and yeah, that's what this game plays like. It plays exactly like Dragon Quest. And that is for me, that is wonderful. I love a good old-fashioned turn-based RPG. I love this weirdly serious, weirdly goofy series. It is for me. This hits me right in the sweet spot of B+ games that I would have in my collection. Right, this isn't like a AAA game for me, but it's one of those games where I wouldn't even call it a guilty pleasure because I don't have any guilt liking it. But it hits the weeb in me right where it needs to hit, which is not the testicles, because those people don't have sex over there for some reason. But yeah, I really enjoy that game, man, and I was pleasantly surprised that it was a turn-based RPG.
So, new releases. We got 2 consoles coming out this week, guys. 2. So we're going to break this down by day, okay? So we're going to start with November 10th. All of these games are coming out for the Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S, and maybe other stuff too, which I will specify as needed. Buckle up.
God damn.
Here we go. Assassin's Creed Valhalla comes
half the shit is already out.
Yes. Assassin's Creed Valhalla comes to PC, Xbox, PS4, Xbox One, and Stadia. Borderlands 3 comes to Series X. Bright Memory. Destiny 2 Beyond Light comes to all consoles. Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition. Dirt 5. Enlisted. Evergate. The Falconeer on Xbox One. Fortnite. Fuser. Gears Tactics. Ghost Runner comes to Nintendo Switch. Liftoff Drone Racing also coming to PS4. Maneater. NBA 2K21. No Man's Sky Next Generation. Observer System Redux. Overcooked All You Can Eat. Planet Coaster Console Edition, also coming to PS4 and Xbox One. Sakano of Rice and Ruin coming to PC. Tetris Effect Connected, also coming to Xbox One. Warhammer Chaos Bane. Watch Dogs Legion. The 13 Remake, also coming to PS4 and Xbox One. Yakuza Like a Dragon, also coming to PC, Xbox One, and PS4.
Half of those don't count. More
Correct,
than half of those.
But hey, if you want to know what you can buy for your Series X.
I mean, technically, all of them don't count.
Yeah.
Coming out tomorrow. All of these are coming to PS5, unless otherwise indicated as well. Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Astro's Playroom, Borderlands 3, Bugsnax, also coming to PC and PS4. Remember, it is free on PS5 via PlayStation Plus. Dead by Daylight, Demon's Souls, Devil May Cry Special Edition, Dirt 5, Esports Life Tycoon comes to PS4 and Xbox One. Family Feud comes to PS4, Xbox One, Switch, and Stadia. Farming Simulator 19 comes to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Fortnite, Godfall, also coming to PC. Gunya Fighter, Handball 21 coming to PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Just Dance 2021 coming to every console under the sun. King Oddball, Maneater, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is also coming to PS4. Spider-Man Remastered, Metaverse Keeper comes to Switch. NBA 2K21, No Man's Sky Next Generation, Observer System Redux, Overcooked All You Can Eat, The Pathless, which is also coming to PS4 and PC, Planet Coaster, Sackboy Big Adventure, also coming to PS4, Unturned, coming to PS4 and Xbox One, Warhammer Chaos Bane, Watch Dogs Legion, WRC 9. That's tomorrow. And then Friday, Beat Me comes to Xbox Series X, Xbox One, and Switch. Bus Driver Simulator comes to Nintendo Switch. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War comes to every console imaginable. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memory comes to PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Need for Speed Hot Pursuit Remastered comes to Nintendo Switch. And Rune 2 Decapitation Edition comes to the PC.
Just when I think these simulator games can't get any worse, I cannot think of anything more just unattractive than Bus Driver Simulator.
They already had a game like that, wasn't it? Called Simpsons Hit and Run. Couldn't you be Otto in that game?
I don't know.
Who knows?
Wow. And it's not even like it really is just like okay, they got some charter buses and they got like a school bus, and then you have your metro, like your transit bus. Okay, so they have different buses.
Cool.
All right.
That's
goddamn.
So
Okay.
there you go.
That's a lot
of games.
That's a lot of new games.
It's a lot of games. No,
it's a lot of games. Some new, some not as.
Are they just getting patches?
So yes. So if Borderlands 3, for example, is getting a new edition on the other consoles that you can upgrade to for free. That gives you 4K 60 on.
I've seen
stuff and all that jazz. So.
Ghost of Tsushima running at 60.
Yeah.
Frames per second. Man, listen. That really does change the way that game looks. Like it just the fact that it's running at 60, because it doesn't it has performance mode and visual enhancement mode on PS4 Pro.
Yeah.
They're both at 30. I'm like, what the fuck is the difference?
Yeah, now it's like, now it's like that one meme of that little girl. Like, why not have both?
Right. So it's just running at 60 when you boot it up on PS5. It looks pretty.
Can't wait. I still play that horde mode thing that they have. It's still fun. Like everybody's at level 20. It's still fun.
Have you done the raid yet?
No, because you need people to do the raid, and I don't know people.
I haven't really been on it like that. So, I went back to fucking Risk of Rain after I saw Brad playing it, and I saw you talking about it. Yeah, I heard you talking about it last week. Have you got any further?
No, I haven't played too much because I've been playing mostly Switch because I already transported my PS4 down to my living room to figure out space for the 5. I will tell you what platform I will check it out on as well later in the episode, because I'm going to be playing it on a non-PlayStation platform soon, just to experiment. But we'll cover that later. Oh no, well technically.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, like
sort of PC.
I saw the article.
Yeah,
not the article, but I saw what they were doing.
Yeah, it's in the news, so we'll talk about it.
I was like, wow, that's fucking desperate. But okay.
Which reminds me, while Mike is doing the ad read, let me put myself a note to cancel a certain subscription up for renewal.
And my longest run in that game was 3 hours.
I've seen that before. I peeped your trophy list, and I was jealous. I didn't realize you played it that much last year when it was still in still in early access.
I finally unlocked all of the characters the other day, and that's not very easy to do, to be honest with you. Just unlocking the characters.
No, I still only have the first 3 so far. So
yeah, okay. Yeah, I unlocked him, and then I did a 3-hour run. I took a break because I had to. Because I'm like, I can't play this for 3 straight hours. And I got to level. I just quit. I obliterated myself because I could have kept going. I was strong enough that like nothing was going to kill me. Like I ran through one level. The teleporter takes like a minute and a half to get to 99. I don't know how long it takes, but I ran through the level to the point. I was running through levels to the point where I didn't have to press a button to kill anything. That's how, like, the game. If you can get far enough and you get the right items, you become a god. Like you can still get one-shotted, but if you're paying attention, you won't take any damage, and you just run through and just kill everything in one shot.
Well, because the difficulty caps out at some point.
It does, but the difficulty it depends on the enemies that it throw at you.
Oh, okay.
When you get further on, there's these things called scavengers, and they have items on them. So it's like you're fighting almost like yourself, because they have like items that can like double speed and all kinds of crazy shit. But if you kill them, they drop the items they have, and you just pick them up. But I was killing them in like 2-3 seconds, and they're really hard to kill.
I'm a little bummed I'm not going to spend a lot of time with it, just because that's a game that I feel like you do need to play a bit just to kind of get a feel for, to get better at, and I'm not going to starting tomorrow just because there's going to be other stuff that I want to play. So
it's fun though, but it's infuriating fun because like you can tell when your run is going to be trash or really good.
Yes,
by like the first 2 levels.
Yeah, like the one thing that I find weirdly cool about it is that like you can do like a 30-minute run, and you're like, all right, cool. I feel like I got it now. Then your next run you'll be dead in like 2 minutes just because of the happenstance of what enemies.
The shit that they give you or don't give you. That maybe like 1 or 2 boxes in the first level. You're like, nigga, what the fuck am I supposed to do?
Yeah, there's no. It's not like a Hades where once you get good at, the early stages, you're probably not going to die.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Check out youtube.com/densepixels and subscribe. Go there and click the bell notification icon, and then click it again, and then click all our videos.
You click it twice, you're basically unclicking it. So then you got to click it again.
Well, yeah, just keep clicking. Click.
I used to say in some of the YouTube videos, like hit the thumb if you like the video, hit it twice if you did.
You can subscribe to all of the TMP Studios podcasts wherever you get your podcasts, including the Nerdpocalypse, our news and movie and pop culture show. Black on Black Cinema. Jay and I just sat down and did a movie based in Baltimore. So
I'm really mad that wasn't on the episode because I really did like that movie.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. It was a really good movie, and we made fun of Baltimore accents, and you get to hear.
Trying to do it.
Yeah, I thought they did a pretty good job.
I thought the main character did his twos and oohs and yous and doos was fine.
Right.
The rest of it was trash. Because he's from Atlanta.
Well, he halfway there. And he and when they lose, they all lose them when you start having to raise your voice and having to be dramatic. That's when I'm like, okay, calm down. And you get to hear why I don't like Philadelphia. I explain that in that episode. You also get the weekly preview episode of the Look Forward Political podcast. Look, just because the clown is going to be out of office doesn't mean that circus is going to stop. Continue to listen. Go to densepixels.com/premium for $5 a month, $50 a year. Get access to the premium slate of content, including the airing of grievances, which we are on a schedule. And we are getting them through. We're getting them out to you as promised. You're welcome. No Time to Bleed, The Men with the Golden Tongues, Upstage Conversation, and the full episode of the Look Forward Political podcast.
So this console launch is definitely a weird one for a lot of reasons. Again, we'll talk more about that later on in the program. One thing that was a bit surprising, Sony has decided that aside from pre-ordered units, no consoles will be available for in-store purchase on launch day anywhere in the world. The stated reason is that they want to keep gamers, retailers, and their staff safe, especially as coronavirus cases are back on the rise again as we get further into the fall and winter months. So basically for launch week, consoles will only be available online through retailer websites. This makes a lot of sense. It's really rough for any partner retailers. Like if you're a independent retailer,
right?
It definitely sucks for you. Not that you probably have access to a ton of PlayStation 5s anyway. And it's going to lead to a lot of frustration as well tomorrow, because there's going to be people that are sitting on their computer at midnight hitting F5, and you're going to miss them. The retailer sites will probably struggle and crash much like they did for the pre-orders. So it's not going to be a great experience, but again, with COVID and just with things the way they are right now, it's a hard decision, but I feel like it's a necessary decision. Because what would be worse would be having people lined up outside of stores and all of a sudden you see, PS5 is directly related to cases spiking and all these places and that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
I don't know if you want those headlines necessarily.
What's Black Friday going to be like this year?
Well, Black Friday's been going on in a lot of retailers all month, or is going to have a long lead time because they don't and most retailers aren't opening
Black November.
Yeah,
just in general. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, like I said, the world's a weird place right now.
Yeah, especially in our neck of the woods.
Yeah.
Do you think if this is successful, it won't be, but if this is somewhat successful, do you foresee this ever becoming the new norm as we get closer and closer to the Wall-E universe of just human beings just sitting in their hover chairs and getting obese and just having everything brought to us? Like, is this viable
for launches like this?
Is it viable?
I don't think so.
It's viable for the last 7 months. Like, we are literally having everything delivered to us. I mean, I know it's a launch and all that, and like everyone in the world wants one, but like niggas have their groceries delivered to their fucking houses now.
Yeah, but like you said, cases are still going up. Like, people still going out. Like, they
yeah. So away from each other. I don't fucking get it.
So I don't know. It just feels. I would welcome never having to set foot in a store ever again. But I live with someone who cannot stand to be in the house. So I don't know. I'm very interested to see how this works for all you suckers and losers out there who are not fortunate like me and Brad. No, I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
Like, I'm not gonna have it for a while, so I don't care.
Look, if Sony didn't give me the golden ticket, I would not. So,
right.
Like, I'm not fucking fronting, okay.
Yeah. Speaking of PlayStation 5, Horizon Forbidden West is looking to launch in the latter part of 2021. Originally, Sony had set expectations for the spring, but again, given the reality we're living in, that's not a surprise at all. Nor did I think anyone truly expected it to come out in the spring next year as well.
I didn't even know what it was slated to come out.
Exactly.
Like, whatever.
Probably best to keep it ambiguous, quite frankly.
Right.
I'm very upset that I didn't really take to this series as much as I thought I would, but I blame Rico. I blame
From their previous game. God damn,
that is a deep cut for
that is for
long time fans.
That is for fans, man. That is for fans. Look, you don't know who Rico is? Don't worry about it. I'm not telling you.
I mean, if you really want to, go back and find the 2013. To be quite frank,
it took me a second. Who the fuck is Rico?
I knew exactly.
Okay, goddamn.
I knew. Sony, finally wrapping up with them, said that PS5 game price hikes are reflective of increased development costs. According to talking to Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg, spokesperson from Sony said that, quote, reflective of the growing development resources needed for these ambitious games. Some PS5 launch titles are selling for less, but the biggest games, including Demon's Souls, for example, is being set at $70. We've been trying to get you guys ready for this for a while, and with Sony, with a lot of their games being single player games that don't have a lot of avenues for additional monetization, I'm more forgiving of those types of games to come out at a little bit of a higher cost than I am your 2Ks and things of that nature.
Yeah, 2K1 coming out at $70 is offensive. It is, because people play so much to improve their characters.
Look, the general way these things tend to have rolled has been essentially we get a locked price for every 2 console generations, and then it goes up by $10. That's where we're at right now. So we had $60 for the PS3 and PS4, we had $50 for the PS1 and PS2, so kind of stands to reason that we see that $10 price increase. And because, like I said, the investment, they are 100% correct. There is way more money being spent on development than there ever has been before. Nintendo has reported extraordinary sales and profit. They are up 200% year over year right now in both things. This is being attributed to, of course, COVID right now and the fact that they sold out of Switches like crazy in the spring. Mario 3D All-Stars has sold 5.2 million copies so far. And Animal Crossing, which we knew was going to be a huge hit, I don't think we would have predicted 26 million units sold for Animal Crossing in just under 8 months on the market.
Jesus.
How many Switches have been sold?
Does it say in the article? I don't believe. Oh no, sorry, 12.5 million Switch consoles.
23 million
this year.
So,
and it could have been more. It could have been more if they had the supply.
People run multiple copies of it, or is it on other systems?
Well, that's just 12 million Switches sold this year. That's not selling.
Oh, I was talking about completely.
Oh, all time. They're up to 68 million consoles sold. So 1 out of every 3 Switches has Animal Crossing.
63 million?
Yeah. 68 million. 68.3 million.
God damn. Yo, that's a lot of fucking Switches.
It is.
How many PlayStation 4s are sold?
114, I think we're up to.
So almost half of PS4's install base.
Yeah, in half the time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's crazy. I mean, it's cheaper. It's a cheaper system. It's portable. It's Nintendo. I bet their development costs haven't risen that much.
Probably not.
I mean,
they're up 200%. God damn.
So,
wow.
Pretty good.
Yeah, that's a lot of Animal Crossing. Like normally I am a sucker for FOMO, but I think I want to say that I think I'm good, but
you're fine. You're fine.
But like if Terrence gets a Switch, then I'm gonna have to buy it because I'll be the one in the 3 of us that will statistically have to have bought.
Actually, no, you're good because technically I own it because my wife has it. So
that's right.
So you're safe. You're safe. There between the 3 of us currently there is 3 Nintendo Switches and there's 1 copy.
No, I don't have a Nintendo Switch. Oh, you have 2 Switches?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I have 1 and my wife has 1. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's wild.
So we're good.
Wow.
All right, good. All right. I just the numbers, as long as the numbers shake out, I'm fine.
All you did was like sell turnips in that fucking game. What the
apparently you win presidential elections in that game. That's what you do.
More on that later.
That's interesting.
Fortnite is mulling the possibility of a monthly subscription model. They surveyed their players to see if they would be open to such a thing. Options are being suggested from anywhere from $5 to $16 a month. Some of the things that they suggested this would get you would be a monthly stipend of 1,000 V-Bucks, which of course is the in-game currency, equivalent to $8. Of course, you get the battle pass for the next season. Other like probably in-game skins, things of that nature as well. So we've seen a lot of publishers move to a subscription model, and of course, games like our MMOs, like your Worlds of Warcraft and whatnot, have used a paid model for many years. What do you think about an individual game though, going into a subscription-based model?
Doesn't Final Fantasy 14 do that?
But it's an MMO, like that. Like that's kind of
mean.
widely accepted for that type of game already.
No, I mean, look, if they're asking their player base and they're willing to do it, what the fuck ever. But like that's like doing a subscription for Apex Legends.
Yeah, basically.
$5 a month gets you the battle pass.
Because
they always have two tiers. They have the free tier and then they have the tier you pay for anyway. and that gives when you level up, you unlock everything, and you get extra like V-Bucks or whatever the fuck currency they give you for whatever game it is.
But that's not monthly though, because those seasons last like.
No, the seasons are like 3 months. But
Yeah.
like, if it gets you that, like, or as soon as another season starts, and you get extra like bonuses if you pay $10 a month. I guess if you play that game a lot, which I guess Fortnite players do quite a bit.
My worry is not Fortnite doing it, because they would do it and they'd be successful because it's Fortnite and they'd probably do it pretty well. My fear would be the copycats that would immediately come afterwards, seeing fresh blood in the water and a new revenue stream. Like you could like immediately, like a Call of Duty or an NBA 2K would be like, ooh, what if we can get on this on this?
Yo, if NBA 2K did that, nigga, like I had to burn 2K to the ground. And I don't even play their games. I would just be so livid for everyone else. But I'd be like, nah, y'all gotta go. I guess possibly. I heard like the new Call of Duty coming out is probably not going to be. It's going to sell a lot of copies, but I don't think it's going to be as successful as they want it to be, because people still really love Modern Warfare. Like it's got the goddamn battle royale, and they're constantly upgrading that. Well, I think the last upgrade was like this week though.
What's funny is that I didn't put in the docket, so they're like creating a unified ecosystem around all three games basically. So between Warzone, Modern Warfare, and Cold War, like I think there's like one battle pass that's universal between them. Yeah, like any progress you make in one game is progress made in another.
I do know, because I play Warzone. I do know if I had the full game, like anything I did in multiplayer, like unlocking guns and shit, does transfer into actual the battle royale.
Yeah.
So that's cool. And then they do have the battle pass that unlocks in each thing. I didn't know they were going to integrate Cold War into that.
I'm pretty sure that's the plan.
But that's different. But like Cold War is totally different. It's a totally different game.
It is.
It's like controls and everything. Like it's like I played the beta. It's not like Warzone at all. It's completely different. It's almost like old school Call of Duty.
I guess they're trying to give you a reason to play all three. Like they just want to be like we just want you to play Call of Duty all day, every day. We don't care which one.
Like I can see if people are still playing Call of Duty Warzone or Call of Duty Modern Warfare, like they're still getting money, because those battle passes and like the shit that you can unlock, people are still paying for those. So I don't know how well this one is going to do, because I didn't see a lot when I actually played the beta. It was the beta, but like it's Call of Duty, right? And it did take a couple. It took a little bit of time to find games.
It's also releasing in a console release week, which kind of muddles the waters a little bit, right? Because there's a few things coming out. Some things that some folks are excited for, a hell of a lot more than they'd be excited for Call of Duty,
right?
I would imagine. But then again, you don't know how many of those buyers would cross over necessarily. It'll be interesting. So like I said, I agree with you guys. I'm pretty sure that with Fortnite, this is more of an inevitability as opposed to just kind of testing the water. But we'll see what that looks like when it does happen, if it happens. Take-Two Interactive has confirmed that they have taken on Codemasters. They're purchasing Codemasters, a British game development studio known for racing games, especially the Dirt series. And they are paying nearly $1 billion to acquire the studio, whose acquisition is being completed in the spring of next year. According to Strauss Zelnick, noted probable supervillain, he says that Codemasters' racing output would fit well within his publishing giant's existing sports fare, while Codemasters would benefit from Take-Two's distribution and marketing. Quoting now, "We are exceedingly pleased to announce this recommended transaction with the board of Codemasters. Codemasters has a renowned history of creating some of our industry's most beloved and commercially successful racing franchises, and we believe that their offerings will be highly complementary to our sports portfolio and enhance further our organization's long-term growth."
People are going to be fucking pissed.
You think so?
People are going to be incredibly upset when the next grid comes out and there's going to be a fucking season pass. Or you're going to have to pay $5 to upgrade a muffler in your game. It's going to go to look. It's Take-Two. You know.
I would like to.
That's where 2K is under, right?
It is what 2K is under.
Yeah,
I would like all of Take-Two's games to have a unified currency model going forward. and I would like them to be called Strauss Bucks.
Yeah, look, Take-Two is buying them. Like, again, those fucking racing dirt. I know they do grid, they do dirt, they did the what else? There's a bunch of fucking racing. All they do is racing games. Yeah, they're gonna have some kind of wild fucking just pay to play shit in there.
Yeah,
that people are not gonna like. But
finally,
shit is gone.
It is a sign that Google Stadia is doing really well. They just giving this shit away if you have a YouTube Premium subscription, basically. So if you have YouTube Premium, you can currently claim a free Stadia Premier Edition pack. That includes the Stadia controller, a 4K Chromecast Ultra, and 1 month of Stadia Pro, a $99 value, yours for completely free. If you just follow the prompt that'll pop up when you go into the YouTube app on your phone and sign up for a Stadia account.
What does Stadia Pro get you? I mean, besides the controller?
It's like Game Pass.
What game do you get?
I haven't looked at the full library yet because as soon as I saw this, I'm like, well, I could use a free Chromecast Ultra. So your boy definitely
like, fuck the controller.
Like, fine, who cares?
Bullshit.
So your boy definitely jumped on the promo and got that shit. I saw they had Risk of Rain 2, so I claimed that. So I will check that out to see how the experience differs, and I can test out the Stadia controller. So I'll test it on my phone. I'll test it on my through the Chromecast and on the computer, and I'll see how it plays in the different areas, and I'll test the switching stuff, and that'll be fun for a day because they're thinking. I mean, like the timing on this is obvious, right? Like they're trying to like insert themselves and be like, "Hey, you don't need
a
new
console
system
coming out too.
Don't buy those new consoles, and you can just get Stadia for free, and just do it that way." But I'm still getting the new console, so you'll get some of my attention when I feel like giving it to you. Basically,
yo, that's hilarious, dude.
Glad I didn't buy one out of curiosity, just to try it out, right?
See what happens when you wait for shit.
Yeah.
Well, see what happens when you wait for shit that don't nobody want. Like that's the way that sentence should be phrased. Yeah, all right. I am very much. Look, Jay was like, "Oh, maybe I'll get it." Like one.
No, you don't have YouTube Premium.
No. He was just talking about like the idea
Stadia?
of Stadia, right? And I was like, "No,
you're not.
You
don't have time to do anything according to you.
Right. You ain't got time to do nothing but to say that you ain't got time to do shit. So get the fuck out of here." And two, I forgot what I was going to say because I had such a good time making fun of Jay. But yeah, wow, this is like this article says, like you said, this is a testament to how poorly Stadia is doing right now. I'm very much looking forward to your opinions of this thing.
It might not be good internet. I have great internet. It might not be till the end of the month that I give you an opinion on this. I don't look. I'm looking forward to it. Is just another way of saying like when you tell me, I will be interested to hear it. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah. Do you have it now?
Or no, I literally just ordered it yesterday. I did receive shipping confirmation from Google today, so I should have it in mere days.
Okay.
Where it will sit on my cabinet over here while I'm playing PlayStation 5. So.
God damn. Does Miles Morales comes out day one?
It does.
Yeah. Have you seen the ray tracing for that?
Yeah, I have.
Now I know what ray tracing is. That looks fucking amazing. Jesus Christ. Like, wow. Okay, there's a huge difference.
I've seen so many reviews, and one review was like, "Oh yeah, you've got to go on performance mode, not the fidelity mode." And then the other one was like, "Yo, that fidelity mode looks amazing."
Like I've seen both modes. It looks amazing running at 60.
Right.
But like the game looks amazing.
He's like, I mean, you've already played it at 30, so you're used to it, but you're not used to the way it looks. So maybe he was like, look, maybe you should try it on 60 and then put it on 30 and just see how beautiful it is. God, I can't wait for that game. Yo, FedEx better not fuck me over like they did with this first Xbox show. They really better. That's why we didn't have a show. That's why the show was late, folks, because I was busy running to the FedEx facility because the FedEx person claimed that they had been in that they attempted to deliver my Xbox, and I'm looking at my little Ring doorbell.
Right,
At the time, ain't nobody there. Ain't nobody there. I was, you know what the Ring doorbell did see? It did pick up the FedEx truck, a FedEx truck blazing past my house. So I went there and they were like, nope, you got to come back because your driver ain't back and he's brand new. And I'm like, yo, he's new. It was like that. It was like that scene from Dear White People. Oh. So yeah, that's why the show is late because I had to get the system that I'm probably not going to touch after tomorrow.
Come tomorrow, God damn.
But if you don't want to have to worry about FedEx, you can worry about a different conglomerate not getting you your package on time. Go to densepixels.com/Amazon. When you go to densepixels.com/Amazon for all of your Amazon purchases, you pay nothing extra and you really help out the show. If you would have went to densepixels.com/Amazon for all of your new console purchases, that would really help us out because that's a big ticket item. So yeah, densepixels.com/Amazon.
So we like to have fun on the show as much as possible, but I just want to take a moment to talk about some serious shit because this past Saturday was a monumental day in not just U.S. history but world history as well. It's been a really rough couple of years. It's been a tough time. We as a society, we had a really good 2008 to 2016, right? Like a really good run there. A lot of ups and downs, but for the most part, pretty successful. And then we knew going into 2017 that we were going to be embarking on a brand new adventure. And wasn't necessarily the adventure that a lot of folks wanted, but we were hopeful and optimistic that it would be as good as it could be. And by most people's accounts, it was really rough. It was a really rough couple of years. And even despite all that, even despite how, it's been a rough couple of years with this new adventure that we embarked on in 2017, that there was always the tease of hope coming on the horizon. And it seemed inevitable. And we just we were just kind of waiting to see when the dam would break. And, finally, so there was the emergence of hope, and we all saw it. And, last week, for most of last week, we were all waiting on pins and needles as we waited for the news to be made official. And then Saturday, the news came, and I, like most of you, probably felt a great sense of relief and some real hope for the future, and just the dawning of a new day. And I'm happy to just kind of live that with you and share with all of you that finally our long nightmare is coming to an end. Because on Saturday, the Mass Effect Trilogy remaster was finally announced.
I wouldn't have been able to get through it. I commend you. I wouldn't have been able to get through it. Yeah, man. This is amazing. This is a long time coming, right? Worst kept secret in all of video gamedom. But yeah, I'm looking for come on, man. Come on. Give it to me right now.
Truly the greatest N7 day in history for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
Now, are they going to be upgrading the combat in the first game?
So unfortunately, like if there's one thing that kind of dashed it a little bit is that they here's from Casey Hudson. He said, quote, "Our goal was not to remake or reimagine the original games, but to modernize the experience so that fans and new players can experience the original work in its best form. We don't really know what that means in its entirety. It could just mean updating it and making everything look really pretty and modernized in terms of graphical terms and how the game runs. It does not sound like that it's an improvement on the systems in the game.
So they're not giving it the Resident Evil treatment.
Or the Uncharted
or the
Nathan Drake collection treatment.
Right.
Correct. It doesn't seem like it, at least. I mean, it's not coming out to the spring. There might be more news ahead of it, but I'm not anticipating that being the case. I'm expecting a straight remaster, but with a lot of polish added on top of it.
They can do. I mean, what is it? Saints Row the 3rd had an amazing upgrade. I mean, the gameplay is exactly the same, but the game looks so much better. So if they did that, that's fine.
Yeah,
I didn't hate the gameplay from Mass Effect 1. It was just not as good as 2.
Yeah, it's tedious. Yeah. And there's a lot of inventory management that you have to do in Mass Effect 1. And it's a shame, because people will poo-poo Mass Effect 1 because all they remember is the subpar controlling, the very weird inventory management, and the Mako missions. And that game is really good. Like that game's story is amazing. It just is, right? Like there are times where I prefer that story to the Mass Effect 2 story from a logic perspective, right? Mass Effect 2 falls into the trap of, hey, there's a looming threat that's about to annihilate us all, but let's, take as much time as we need to, make sure that everybody is taken care of. And I, while I get it, right, it makes sense in the immediate, like, hey, we're going on a suicide mission. I got some business to take care of. Can you help me? Sure, I get it. But like they're right there. Like the Reapers are right there. Like you're gonna have to wait. Like you and your father, black man, you just gonna have to be mad at each other and hope we make it out. But at the same and the first Mass Effect story feels a little more personal, but whatever, it's coming. I can't wait. I'm kind of mad that it's not like here right now because it's something that everyone has said they wanted.
Other stuff to play.
I mean, yeah, but like, I want it now.
I, for one, am fine with it coming after I've had plenty of time to sink my teeth into Cyberpunk and other stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I totally forgot about Cyberpunk.
Look, nigga, Cyberpunk is coming out the same time this comes out. We could have pushed that back into next year.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me.
What is it? What is it now? December 15th?
December 10th.
December 10th. We'll see.
I totally forgot about that game.
Yeah. Is it even coming out on PlayStation 4?
It is.
Because apparently that's the issue. Like
it's the old gen
current,
console. Yeah,
the current console is giving them some issues because of what the game is, and it's going to be pretty intensive on the fucking GPU when it comes up. I guess they're trying to figure out how to optimize that shit for the older systems, especially like the Xbox One. If people still own that, the original Xbox One, I can't imagine that even like most games running 900p on that thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, don't bother buying it if you have an Xbox One. Oh, no, original. Still point. Or a PlayStation 4.
They also announced, BioWare did, that a small veteran team is working on the next Mass Effect, but of course they have nothing new to share on that at this time. Nor would I expect anything new for many, many years to arise in that particular game. But yeah, we finally had a substantial N7 day. And
I wonder when it's coming out.
What the new Mass Effect?
Yeah, no, not the new one. The remaster.
Oh, it's in spring 2021. So before the Anthem 2.0, I know that. So
yeah, I mean, what if they just like? What if Anthem 2.0 is just the new Mass Effect? Like they just like, you know what? Let's just scrap it. Let's just scrap it, right? Like, because isn't that what Anthem was originally supposed to be, like a Mass Effect game, just like a wildly different one?
Doesn't seem like it.
I don't know.
From the game.
I don't know, man.
Well, we got it.
There are elements of Andromeda that I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't even know why I'm on here. I'm just happy that that we have another Mass Effect game coming out. No more elevator rides, yo. That's all I'm happy about. There's no more long elevator rides. So that we gotta walk into this room and wait for the floor to load up. That's what I'm happy for. It can look the same, just like no elevator rides, and I'm fine with that.
So
all the DLC too.
Yeah, it's all there. It's all there.
It's amazing.
So when we were going to have the show recording yesterday as originally planned, I was going to ask us how we were feeling with the next generation of consoles getting ready to rain down on us. But since we're a day later, Mike has actually played the Series X, so he can give some early impressions of the console, and then we can just talk about PS5 a little bit, I guess. Before we do that, worth mentioning, not a surprise, Xbox Live went down temporarily on launch day. Around 1 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. Unfortunate if you are trying to start a game that you purchased through the Xbox Live Marketplace, and it only lasted for about 2 hours. I'm not surprised at this. I'm expecting Sony's network to also have a hell of a time tomorrow as well. So,
yeah, everyone is so quick to be like, oh, it failed, it's broken. Like, no, just, everybody calm down. It was Xbox Live's fault, and yeah, of course they're gonna fix it.
People are freaking out because there's some disk drive issues apparently on some of the consoles. Again, I would expect that to be normal within the acceptable rate of failure. Disappointing for sure.
It sucks, man. It sucks. I'm not wishing that on anybody. Buy digital games.
So one in particular, ACG's console just collapsed on him.
His PS5 bricked.
Yeah,
that happens when you do things that you're not supposed to do to it. Like it's been documented that it would not behoove you to transfer games from an external to the SSD of the PS5 and back and forth. But he was doing that and it bricked. You can do that with the Xbox. Maybe that's why he thought he could do it with the PlayStation. I kept all my Xbox games on a 4 terabyte HDD, and now it's just sitting there as a pack mule. And for if I want to move something over, I just quickly move it over and move it back and stuff like that. But you can't do that with the PlayStation. It sucks.
A little weird. I don't understand that.
Yeah,
well, it sucks.
On the Plus, Terrence, when you do eventually get PS5, apparently you can take your external and really just unplug it from your PS4 and plug it into your PS5, and it's good to go. It's got the same architecture.
So I could use my external SSD.
You can use your external to run PS4 games specifically,
but not PS5
games. Correct.
Okay, I guess.
Well, it's apparently it's because of the fancy like custom hard drive that they build for it. Like,
right.
There are no hard drives on the market yet that are able to run in the same way. So you'd see performance issues. That I think that's why they've gated it off.
Okay. And I remember you guys were talking about the plates for the PS5 last week.
Yes.
And how easy or difficult it is to take off. In order to increase space on the PS5, I think you can use an external, but like there's a slot inside that you can put extra space in the PS5.
It's not on. It's not on the back.
It's
of
inside. No, you got to actually have to take the thing off to put it in.
Oh.
So yeah, they made it very easy to take the plates off.
Yeah, when they eventually come out with one. So
right.
Yeah,
whenever that is.
So this Xbox, I like the look of it. That's just a personal taste. I like the fact that something called Xbox looks like a box.
How does it compare size wise to the original Xbox? That's what I'm curious about.
So the original Xbox is.
You mean like the original, like the first one,
yes,
2001?
The OG, yes, the OG Xbox, which was a huge fucking thing.
Yeah, that thing was pretty.
I remember that thing.
Like 10 pounds.
Yeah,
I remember that thing being big. This is small, but it's also tall, and it's like 15 pounds.
God dang.
So it's pretty heavy.
You never held a 1X, did you?
Yeah, this is my 1X here.
Oh, I didn't know you had a 1X.
Yeah, I have a Xbox One.
No, the 1X is a smooth 10 to 12 pounds.
Okay, it's like a brick shithouse basically.
Yeah.
It's small, but it's fucking packed.
Okay, no, I have an original Xbox One. This is my day one Xbox One here. I didn't get the 1X because I didn't play that, so I wasn't gonna upgrade. But no, it's about, like, if you look at the 1X and you divide it into quadrants, if you stack three of the four of them together on top of each other, that's the size of it. And it's a solid ass, like when I picked it up, I was like, yo, this is way heavier than it needs to be. But yeah, then I got the controller out. I started feeling the buttons. I'm like, because I was looking at this D-pad, and I'm like, how's this gonna work? How's this D-pad gonna feel, right? Because it's not a traditional D-pad. It actually feels pretty good. It feels like I can perform quarter circle motions better with this.
That's the Elite controller D-pad.
It's one of the Elite controller D-pads.
I mean the Xbox Elite, whatever they call the Xbox Elite controller, right?
I preferred the traditional D-pad. This is an Elite controller. I preferred the traditional.
Wait, how much is that controller?
The Elite controller?
Yeah,
was $150 when I bought it.
I thought they had the. Could you change out the?
Yes, you could.
Okay,
you could change out all the different. But
it has an octagonal D-pad as well.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I thought they had that D-pad on there that you could actually change it to.
But I like the feel of it. And then I looked at it, I was like, what are these? What is this? Oh, that's right. It's got to use regular ass batteries. I was like, where's my charging cable? But they didn't come with a charging cable because it uses real regular ass batteries.
You got to pay the $25.
Well, thank goodness they offer those controllers at a discount compared to the PlayStation 5 controllers, right?
I don't know.
Oh, well, those Duracell batteries ain't gonna buy themselves. So
you boot the thing up, and it's like, hey, do you want to set it up on your phone? If you got the Xbox app, you can set it up on your phone. I did that. It's pretty easy. The UI is the same UI that you see in the Xbox One, which I get, right? Like, it's, if it ain't broke, we finally fixed it, so we ain't trying to fix it again. And people don't like change, and it helps that you can just jump right into it because everything is muscle memory, right? The
very Netflix-esque.
Yeah, it's a bunch of boxes. It's a bunch of boxes.
I mean,
with
to be fair, PlayStation seems like it's also in that.
Yeah, I've seen
in that realm.
It just looks a little prettier.
Yeah,
because the Xbox interface looks utilitarian as fuck.
It's
just like okay.
That's the perfect word for it.
Actually, PlayStation's interface reminds me more of the Nintendo Switch's UI than anything else. Honestly,
I haven't seen Switch's UI at all. I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. So, but everything is snappy. Like, this is a day one Xbox One, and it just kind of chugs, right? Everything here is snappy. I don't know if this happened to you when you played your Xboxes, but like, whenever I would start up a game or hit the A button to acknowledge something, it always felt like it took a stutter step before it actually kind of launched.
Yeah.
Not the case with this. Everything is popping on and off. Heat does come out of the top of it, not smoke, heat, because that's what it's designed to do. And people were like, I saw early reviews and people were like, oh my God, I'm burning my hand. Like, nah, no, it's not that much heat coming out of the thing.
Have you felt the back of a PlayStation 4 Pro?
Or if you built like a high-end PC.
Right.
Like if
it's
you
a high-end
PC
sink
on there. Jesus.
And fucking a small compact high-end PC that you built yourself in a really small box. Like, what do you fucking think is gonna happen?
So if you put your hand like directly on it, like you feel the heat, and then you'll feel more heat because your hand is blocking the exhaust. So that's what happens. Okay, like people just want to fucking complain about shit, yo. So I booted up a couple games, and I wanted to try Quick Resume. Right, Quick Resume is weird. It's actually pretty nice. I don't see myself using it often, but let's say if you're like playing a game or you're playing Destiny and you're waiting for people to come on, so you want to play something else real quick, right? You want to play Tetris or something real quick. You can do that, and then you can jump right back into it. But for some games, it works great, right? Like I was playing a little bit of Gears Tactics just to start it up to see if I can jump back into Tetris Effect and to jump back into Gears Tactics. And all that works pretty great, right? Like I made sure that I was in the middle of a Tetris run, and I was in the middle of a Gears run to see what would happen. And yeah, when you switch, the game automatically pauses. You switch to the game you want. It takes you to the game, and it's right there where you left off. That's pretty cool. And you can do it for a couple different games, I'm told. So I tried to do that. So I tried to do that with Yakuza. The shit didn't work. I made sure that I was in Kamurocho. I paused it. I selected Tetris Effect. I'm right there in the middle of my run, right? So like, all right, I play a couple minutes in Tetris. I go back to Yakuza. Theoretically, I should be at my paused save state, and it should start, right? I did this a couple different times. A couple times, the game just would not load. Like you see the screen that you see at the back of Terrence's as Terrence's background, and it just wouldn't load the game back up. Like to the point where I had to restart the console. So I restarted the console, did everything again, started up Yakuza, paused it, went to play Tetris Effect, paused it, went back to Yakuza. It loaded, but it loaded to the title screen. Mm-hmm. Like that. Well, that really defeats the purpose of Quick Resume. That's not quicking and resuming. It
is only. I think it's a feature that developers have to enable, and since Yakuza is pretty much a Xbox One port for all purposes, that's probably why. So.
Okay, I didn't know it was a feature that people had to enable. So that makes sense.
It's not going to be. I would imagine that it's going to be in most Xbox Series X games, but it's not going to be in every game, and I don't think it's in every Xbox One game that you would transfer forward. So.
Okay, all right, that makes a lot of sense then, and that explains why it worked for the Game Pass games perfectly. It's a solid machine. It's quiet. Like I'm not used to consoles being quiet anymore. Like it was weird, especially because my office is right next to my son's room. So if a console's loud, I have to either put headphones on, which I don't have, or turn the thing up, which I don't want to do because I don't want to wake him because then I have to put him back to bed. So it's super quiet. Not a lot of heat comes out of it. It's a solid machine. There's just not a lot of stuff to play on it. So don't feel bad if you don't get one immediately. There's no like killer app. There's no reason for me to just be like, look at this. This is amazing, right? Like I've been playing mostly Yakuza, and I turned on high resolution mode. The high resolution mode, it looks good. It basically just gives lens flares to all of the lights that you see in the city, but sometimes the lens flares kind of glitch, right? Because someone will be blocking a light with their body, but the lens flare will still pierce through their body, which is not from the light source, which is not what happens with lens flares. But it's a solid machine. I am looking forward to playing exclusives on it. There's no killer app for it.
There you go. So you hooked up your television, right?
Yeah.
You got your first console. You got your first next gen console. So how does it actually look on that?
Oh, it looks beautiful.
TV.
It looks beautiful. Tetris Effects looks amazing. Like you say, I turn the lights off and just trip, man. Just trip, listening to music and looking at all the colors and everything. Like it's amazing. Like I can't believe that TV looks like this now. You know what I mean? And now it's been looking like this. I'm just late to the party. Yeah, it looks amazing, and that's why I'm like, when Spider-Man comes out, I mean, like 60 frames better be like amazing, right?
60 frames really does change the way games play. But like I've seen what it looks like in fidelity mode. I don't know if I would be.
Yeah, Mike, I feel like you probably just want to play that in fidelity mode and don't, because the problem with 60, the problem when you play something at 60 is that if you go back to 30, it's just going to feel slow.
Yeah.
Like it's just like I remember my first taste of this. So when Call of Duty Black Ops 4 came out, I remember I had a free copy and a couple friends of mine, we played a little bit of multiplayer, and that ran at 60 frames per second on PS4. And then we jumped out of that and went into Destiny, which runs at 30. And when I was playing Destiny, I felt like I was running through mud.
Like, nigga, what is this?
Yeah.
Like, because Call of Duty has been running at 64 for like ever.
Yeah.
And
I had the same problem going back and forth between like, did Borderlands run 60? I feel like Borderlands could run at 60. I can't remember.
Which one?
3.
Did Borderlands 3 run at 60?
I think on PS4 Pro it did. I can't remember though. Offhand. I remember a similar experience though, jumping between that and Destiny as well. So if you want to play in fidelity mode, do that, but don't fuck yourself by experiencing it at 60 FPS first and then going back to 30.
I might just play in fidelity mode. Look, everybody knows I'm a graphics whore. And when things look amazing like that, like I want to be able to really appreciate it. Like if it was like,
I mean, to be fair, even at 30, it's still going to look amazing to you, or even at 60 it is, because it still has HDR, which you did not have before.
Right.
As well.
Right. So, I haven't played Destiny for some reason I own Destiny on Xbox, but I've always played it on PlayStation. So I haven't played Destiny on the new Xbox yet, but I'm told 60 frame Destiny looks amazing.
Well, that version hasn't come out yet, though. That version comes out December 8th.
Okay, because I've seen
not patched to run at 60 yet.
It's not patched yet.
No. They're releasing a PS5 Xbox One version that will have 4K 60.
Okay, because I've seen.
Not an upgrade. You have to buy it.
No. It's if you have it on. If you already.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, nigga, what the fuck?
Yeah, if you already have. But it's. I think it's going to be like a native download for PS. Like I don't think you can just use your PS4 version or Xbox One version and do that. Like I think you have to download it again from the store, which is free. And then if you bought Beyond Light or any of the other expansions, they will transfer with you. All right.
Okay. All right. Because people who play on PC, they're like.
120 frames, 270 for like this.
Right.
Really?
Like I get it.
You can't tell.
So I'm very curious to see what like fighting games can do with this technology, right? Like I'm interested to see what that looks like. I own Mortal Kombat, and I think it's a free upgrade without having to pay another $60. I'm not buying anything else for that game. But I do want to see what it looks like, because that, NRS, like, their graphics whores also. Like, they make their games look real pretty. So I'm curious to see what that looks like next week. But it's a solid system. It's like what I imagine PC people always clamor on about, you know what I mean? Like playing on like ultra high settings or whatever, which most PC people can't. Like, and when you do, you have to pay like $3,000 for a fucking PC. I ain't doing all that.
Yeah, it's the funny thing, because like I said, Xbox is capable of reaching 120 frames per second on whatever games have it enabled, but you still have to have the hardware that's compatible.
Right.
And you also have to make a trade-off, because if you're playing it, because as things stand right now, unless you happen to have a TV that supports HDMI 2.1, you can't run 120 FPS at 4K. You have to be at 1080 in order to do it. So
right.
And
there's like three televisions that have 2.1.
Yeah,
so
no,
they don't exist.
It's three TVs and zero monitors right now, basically, that have it. So we have to wait a little bit, because one of the other things Destiny said is that, we'll have 4K 120 FPS in Crucible coming later for console as well, for PS5 and Xbox One. I'm like, that's cool, but I can't do it with my with my monitor, because my monitor is only 60 hertz because it's 4K. So we'd have to get a new monitor in order to do that. I find myself being more excited than I have been, probably just because it is right around the corner, probably because units started getting out there in the wild with media and reviewers and stuff like that. But also, like, the other reason that I wasn't too jacked for PS5 at first is because I didn't really know what to make of the games that were coming out on the marketplace, and now I'm a little bit more bullish about the games that are going to be available at launch for it. So Astro's Adventure, whatever the hell that game is called, is installed on the system. It's described as a glorified tech demo that can show off what the DualSense controller is capable of. But I've also heard that it's very fun.
In love with that thing, the controller itself.
Yeah. But I've heard the game's really fun, so I'm looking forward to spending a small amount of time and getting hopefully a cheap and easy platinum trophy in that game in a couple hours.
I think that's 4K 60.
Yep. You got Bug Snacks, which will be for free, which is a game that everyone's at least a little curious about, just because when they showed it off, they were very cryptic and it looked weird. I've heard it's a very cool, like puzzle-ish type of game, like no stress, kind of like a chill game to play. Got some Pokemon Snap elements to it. Some people compared it to The Witness, but not as complicated, obviously, in that regard. But again, that's free. It's a cheap and easy, 10-hour experience maybe. And then I'm pretty excited about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which reviews are starting to creep out and impressions. And by all accounts, it's an excellent Assassin's Creed game. A little less bloated than Odyssey was, because for all of Odyssey's great appeal, it had a lot to do.
Yeah, too much, game. Man. Like, they weren't lying when they said it was an Odyssey. Jesus Christ. Right. That's my one knock on that game. That's my favorite Assassin's Creed game, but that's my one knock on it. There's too much bullshit in it.
Mm. And I'm excited to see how that game looks, because Odyssey looked amazing on PS4 at 4K and I think 30 frames per second. So seeing that world in 60 frames is probably gonna be pretty dope. So pretty cool. Cyberpunk's around the corner soon, in a couple weeks. Fingers crossed. And like I said, we'll see if there's any other games that strike my fancy. I'm planning on spending a lot of time with Odyssey. We'll see how that goes. But I'm more excited now than I was before. I was very disappointed to find out that accessory compatibility is not quite what I thought it would be. So I'm selling my Astro C40 controller, because while it is compatible on PS5, it's only compatible with PS4 games, which kind of defeats the purpose of having it if you're going to do that. Because especially if a PS5 version of Destiny is coming out, well, then what's the fucking point of having it? It's one of the games that I bought it primarily for. So I guess it's a good thing that the DualSense is apparently an awesome controller, because we'll have that to rely on there. And the one thing that it doesn't seem like PlayStation's doing quite as well as Xbox is they're not streamlining folks into the experience quite in the same way that Xbox is. For example, if you have the PlayStation, if you want to use PlayStation VR with PS5, it's compatible, but you can't use the PlayStation 5 HD camera. Like you have to use the PSVR camera, and you have to get an adapter, which is free, but you still have to get an adapter in order to plug that into.
Yeah, I'm still kind of. How do you get the adapter? Like
there's a website you have to go to and just ask for it, and they'll mail it to you.
Fuck. Like yeah, PSVR. I need an adapter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like I said,
it should, if they're gonna do that, it might as well just fucking come with it.
Sure. Yeah. How much does that cable cost? Probably not. Probably not much. But then again, how many PSVRs are there out there? Not nearly as many as there are.
Yeah. Well, there's not a lot. There's like 2 million.
Yeah, but if the initial run of PS5s is going to be 10 million, that's a lot of wasted. That's a lot of wasted cable,
I guess.
So again, it's cool. There's a solution. It sucks that you have to go out of your way to secure it. We talked about the storage a little bit. A lot of people are having and hawing about the fact that the PS5 only has, I think, 660 some odd gigs of usable storage on the console, and that's all you got because they haven't come out with a expandable solution yet. Sony has not for PS5 games. So you have to be very judicious about which games you're putting on your system if you plan on getting a lot of games, because you're going to run out of space pretty quickly. Whereas Xbox, though the solution is expensive, they do have a native solution, right? That you can just plug into a designated drive on the system, and it works pretty.
Something like $220.
Yep, for 1 terabyte. Welcome to solid state storage, guys. The future.
It's very fast, but
yeah,
come on, yeah. Like goddamn.
But yeah, I am looking forward to it. Going to be playing a bunch this weekend, and again, I don't know how much of my PS4 stuff I'm actually going to play on there because I want to experience the new shit.
I'm putting one game on there, and that's Ghost of Tsushima. That's the only PS4 game I'm putting on there.
They just announced too. Apparently, Last of Us 2 and God of War will have haptic feedback if you play those with the DualSense controller on PS5, which is pretty dope.
I've been wanting to see what God of War looks like running on the PS5.
I might
because no one has shown it yet. I'm like, what the fuck?
I might download that one and fire that up at some point too, because I do really need to go back and finish that game.
Well, now you can run it 4K 60.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's why you were holding out, right?
Yes, right. Yeah, I knew a new console was imminent, and I wanted to play it at the very best possible settings that I could play it.
Yeah.
Before moving on, so we turn to you guys in the post office. It's a new console launch centric theme for the questions this week. Rashawn asks, who is selling more consoles, Xbox or PlayStation, this holiday season, and which console will crap out on Micah first?
Neither, because I take care of my stuff.
Yeah. I mean, look, I think both PlayStation and Xbox are going to sell every single unit that finds its way into stores. So as far as who's going to sell more, it matters as to who can get more consoles out into the marketplace.
I feel like PlayStation might have the edge.
I think you're probably correct.
The memes weren't showing people fucking grandmas for money for fucking play for Xbox One X or whatever, the Series X. It's all about the PlayStation 5. So it probably has the edge because that's everything. That's what everyone's talking about right now.
Yeah.
But I don't see it being that big a difference.
No, I don't either. I don't either at all.
Both new systems.
So Amir says, since we're getting Miles DLC this week with PS5, that's a little bit more than DLC, I would say. Do you think that in Spider-Man 2 proper, they'll kill Peter Parker off and make Miles the main protagonist, or just have 2 Spider-Men from now on?
They'll have 2 Spider-Men. No.
Why would they kill him if they replace the fucking character?
Right. They technically did kill him, and they recast him.
Look, he looks weird.
It looks
playing that game playing through that game twice, and then seeing this new Tom Holland Spider-Man in the game. It's just fucking weird. You know?
Yeah, and it's very weird that, the facial capture matches the facial actor better. And that's it. He's the only one. Of everyone that speaks in that game, he's the only one. Come on. You couldn't make Kingpin look like Vincent D'Onofrio, man? Come on, man. I'm not trying to hit that. It's going to be very odd.
They're gonna throw you a curveball and they're gonna revamp Kingpin to look more like Michael Clark Duncan.
Rest in peace.
Aaron says he hasn't kept up with either of these fancy new consoles. Give me the deets. I think
nigga, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, that's there, and I think honestly, like the best way to sum up the new systems is at least early on until developers really start to take advantage of the power that these consoles provide. It's going to be mostly quality of life improvements. You're going to get the best resolution. You're going to get the best frame rate. You're going to get the best performance in terms of like loading times. You're going to get, all these extra visual flair features like ray tracing, like Terrence mentioned, and things of that nature as well.
They're current high-end PCs without the hassle.
Basically, yeah.
Like without having to fucking like put new drivers and all this bullshit in, and it doesn't work. The game don't start up because I got the wrong fucking whatever.
Right.
I don't like fucking PC.
You can spend $500 getting one of these consoles, or you can spend $600 getting a graphics card.
This is an RTX 3080 or some shit is the newest one. I think it's like $700.
Malcolm says, which will happen first? Nevada and Arizona finish counting their votes, or we get a black PS5 console?
I mean, the PS5 is halfway to being black, so I would say you get a black PS5 console.
I think if they do a black one, then the middle part will be white. I don't think you're going to see a unicolor or a monochrome version of that console.
Really?
Yeah.
So it looks like a weird Oreo cookie.
Yeah.
What would that look like? I'm trying to imagine what that would look like. Yeah, but look, if you're going to make it monochrome, you can only make it black. You can't make it look like anything else.
No, I don't think you want it all white. It'll look like a fucking weed that has a fungus growing on it or some kind of you do like an all white version.
Like a Wii's final form.
I just did a quick search to see how much the NVIDIA, like their newest graphics card, the 3080, which is what I said, how much they cost.
Mm-hmm.
Nigga, that shit is $700.
Yo, and that's
the 3080. The 3090 starts at $1,500, whatever the fuck that is, and the 3070 is $500. That's a graphics card,
Right. All right, Master Race. Out of here, man.
Anyway, that's just I can't wrap my head around that. That just doesn't make sense to me.
Gregory asks, can you elaborate on how the Spider-Man game save transfer from PS4 to PS5 works? Micah, are you up on this?
Not really. I know they announced it. I presume that if you upload your save to the cloud, then you will be able to go into the cloud to pull that save down.
Yeah. Saves are automatically uploaded to the cloud. Like if you delete a game, if you have a game and you played it and you delete the game off your hard drive, once you reinstall it or whatever, and you log into your PSN, it's already in the cloud. You can just pull it out.
You don't run out of space?
For a save? It's like 10 gigs, man. They give you a lot of fucking space for save. You will not
unless you have like 100 Skyrim saves on there. I think you're
like, if you go to your PlayStation 4 right now and look at how much you have in the cloud, you're not close to running out of space.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because all it does is save. It's just your save states, not the games themselves.
I didn't know if they give you, I know they give you space on the cloud, but I thought it was literally for everything that you can upload onto the cloud.
No, it's just save.
Okay.
And haven't any of you guys tried the new PlayStation app?
I have.
It's very good.
It's way better than the original.
It's really fucking good.
Tell you that.
You can jump into a party on your phone.
Yeah.
It's pretty dope. And you can talk.
And the store is integrated. You don't have to load the store in a web browser within the app to get into the fucking thing.
It's an all-in-one thing, and you can. It's almost like the Xbox app. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's similar, if not the same, at this point. It's dope.
It's pretty good. If that's a precursor of the UI experience on the PS5, I'm looking.
Yeah.
So, Randy says, which console comes out with the slim version first? My money would be on Microsoft for that one.
They already have the Steam versions. The S, the Series
That's
S.
true. They do. They
You just
do.
can't play anything in 4K. It's
Uh,
1440.
Anthony asks,
Whatever.
what would be your reaction if your Xbox Series X started smoking? Because apparently he watched the faked videos on the internet today.
I would ask my wife when she took up vaping and why is she doing it in my office in front of my console? Because that's the only way it's smoking.
Shock! I was surprised that people bought into that so quickly.
I'm not. We're dumb. We're dumb, dude. We're dumb, and we just look for reasons. It's Schadenfreude, man. We look for reasons for shit to break, and we don't exercise any amount of common sense when we see it. We just, like, okay, you see these two videos, but like first of all, if the thing was smoking like that, there's a little more than just a failure issue. Like people are so quick to be like, oh, don't buy it first, don't buy it day one, don't buy it day one. Guess what?
Before you get too far into that, let me ask for Sean's question. Thoughts on the Xbox Series X having disk problems on day one, and with the reports of the PS5s breaking themselves because of a storage issue, which we discussed earlier was a misuse issue probably. Should we worry about being day one buyers?
Every console except for maybe 2 of them have been day one purchases for me, and I've never needed to upgrade because of a failure. The
Xbox, you never had to you never needed to get a new Xbox 360.
I had to get a new Xbox 360. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, you mean besides all of 2 that you bought?
Right. All of them, I bought day one consoles as far as I can remember, and the only one that gave me trouble was the Xbox 360. That's the only one that I had to upgrade because of a failure.
And that was a historically
right
problem. So
right, that was widespread. This wasn't 2 people in shitty apartments with nothing to do but to blow vape smoke into their thing for attention, because that's what it's for. It's for attention. And the PlayStation one, like, it sucks that dude has that dude bricked his PlayStation because he bricked it, but like a lot of these things are out there now. A lot of review units are out there now, and no one has reported any other PlayStations failing. Like, it only takes the one, and then people are like, oh, doom and gloom, the sky is falling. Like, nah, yo, just take care of your stuff. Stop trying to break it.
And again, like we've talked about this before, the accepted industry fail rate on electronics is about 1.5%. So that means that for every 200 that gets, or for every 200 that gets sold, they're just expecting 3 of them to have some kind of a issue of some kind. Now, that's, it doesn't sound like a lot, but obviously if you multiply that out and you're selling, 10 million consoles, then the number of failed consoles or consoles that have issues is going to be a high number. But in terms of the overall percentage of them, it's pretty low. And in most practices, what the actual results are is much less than 1%. Like, it's a statistically insignificant number that actually do fail.
Yeah, I'm not saying it won't. I'm saying statistically it probably won't. You don't have anything to worry about. And guess what? Like, if you don't buy it on day one, but you buy it on day 15,
right? You're still buying a day one.
Buying the first run,
right? Right. So
if you don't want an early console, like the only way to avoid being a quote unquote early adopter is to buy like literally a year to 18 months after the console releases.
Exactly. So don't feel bad.
Trey asks, is it safe to say that retailers, especially the big chain ones, really fucked up this launch? From jumping the gun to scaring people about shipping boxes, is this not a clusterfuck?
I don't think it is, honestly.
It's not the retailer's fault. It's not the retailer's fault. Sony's on the hook to blame for their rough go with the pre-order system because they did not set clear, established guidelines to retailers in terms of when the sale date, when the pre-order sale date should start, and et cetera, et cetera. That was much more on Sony than on any specific retailer. And then as far as just the general issues that we saw with the pre-order process for both, and what we're probably going to see with the PlayStation tomorrow being sold almost exclusively online. Look, retailer websites are designed for high traffic, but they're not designed for the amount of traffic that is tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of people all going onto that website, trying to put this same item into their cart, trying to check out with this item in their cart. Their systems are going to crash. It is
no website is designed for that.
No website,
not even Amazon.
Right. And to be clear, could they bulk? Could they get them to the point where that is something they can handle? Sure, but you're not going to spend the amount of resources that it would cost to do that just for this once every 6 to 12 month glut of people that are going to be running at the thing at the same time. Like, you just kind of eat shit on that and you move on. It is what it is. So is it frustrating? Absolutely. Does this launch look fucked up because of this stuff? Sure. But again, we're in the middle of the pandemic.
That's my thing. I don't think the launch is fucked up. Like, the pre-order was like a month and a half ago. The thing comes up tomorrow. Everything's fine now, right? I mean, outside of like not being able to go to the store to pick it up.
Right.
It's not that bad.
But I wouldn't put this on retailers at all. I would if anyone's deserving of blame, it's gonna be the Sony and Microsoft for how they went about it. And even Microsoft honestly did everything they could. But again, that amount of traffic, you can't do anything about that.
Yeah, PlayStation Network is going down tomorrow.
It is. Yeah,
it is. Like, what the fuck? So
absolutely. I'm actually kind of glad I can't get mine till after work, because that way I won't be in like that 11 to 2 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. rush when everyone runs out first thing in the morning to get it and comes back and is trying to log in and shit at the same time. So we'll see. He also asked, how come no one mentions that Nintendo and Koei straight up abandoned Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 when it still has not finished the final season of DLC that people did pay real money for? Is that a thing?
What are you talking about? Like the Fantastic Four pack? That's out.
Was that the last promised content?
Yeah, they said we'll give you 3. We'll give you a Midnight Suns pack. We'll give you an X-Men pack. We'll give you a Fantastic Four pack, and that's it. As a matter of fact, you probably can still. They have like daily challenges and stuff. All that stuff's probably automated, so you could probably still do that. But no, trust me. Trust me. Doctor Doom is the only character at level 300. Trust me. You're good. You're good. Followed by Infinity Gauntlet Thanos, the hidden character. So, he's Infinity Gauntlet Thanos. There's no point in having the 3 other people there. But, it's finished.
And Tyrone asks, not really. Well, I guess it is a question. He says both systems are boring. Can you explain why? I actually don't mind this question, and I also want to say to anyone that is not getting them right away or is not able to because they can't get one, don't worry.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing is that PS4 and Xbox One was a pretty damn good console generation. And I don't think that we truly appreciate like how good of a console generation that was, just in terms of the improvements made to hardware and quality of games coming out and stuff like that. And the reason that these systems can appear boring to many is because they're not like revolutionary upgrades over what's currently available. Part of that is because most of the upgrades that we're seeing is in visual fidelity and frame rate and performance and stuff like that. Part of it's because we got mid-cycle iterations of like premium versions of the existing consoles that were more powerful. So you're not getting that full generation's worth of upgrade. It's more like a half generation worth of upgrade. But yeah, I mean that's my best guess as to why it can feel like that it's not anything special right now.
Look, I think the biggest thing is, again, the visual fidelity, but the quality of life. Like, again, if you haven't played a game that loads up, like I saw a um, demo for Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition running on PS5. 2-second load time.
Yo, that's amazing.
Yo, it goes from I'm starting the game. Well, the game starts up, but then once you press start, the shit loads in 2 seconds, as opposed to like 10 or 15 or 20. 2 seconds. Like, there's no need to have a fucking loading screen. The loading screen pops up, bam, you're in the game. Like, I don't think people realize how fucking like Spider-Man just fades to black and comes back up.
Right, like they like Spider-Man specifically had cute little spool. I'm Spider-Man on the subway, like loading screen. Like, no, there's no point in them.
Right, it's pointless. So I think that's the biggest thing to me personally. Mm-hmm. Like, just the waiting for a game to load up is kind of obnoxious. But like 2-second load time, come on, yo.
And even the load times that are longer. So like I think I saw a comparison video. So on Xbox Series X, from boot to gameplay, Avengers is like a minute flat.
Yo, Avengers is egregious, is what it is.
Yeah, like I told you, I put it on my SSD and it loaded up pretty quickly. I can't imagine it being like once the game starts, it takes about 20 seconds to get to like the actual gameplay. Like
I'm talking from boot up, like starting the game to playing the game, not like in a mission is 1 minute apparently on the Series X.
That's good.
That's
amazing. Actually.
That is bonkers. Jesus.
Yeah. So that alone to me is almost worth the price of admission. Like if you're playing old games that you have and they boot up that much quicker, like that saves you a lot of time. Like it just does. And then games running at 60 frames, older games that you have, like all of the PlayStation exclusives are going to be running at 60. Whether it be in fucking like high performance mode or high fidelity mode. They're running at 60. Like there was one game that ran trash on the PlayStation 4. One of the Assassin's Creed games. Syndicate?
Unity.
Unity, yeah. That game ran like garbage. Yeah. That thing is running at 60 now.
That game had a 7 gig patch.
Right, that thing was straight broken. But I saw gameplay of it. It's not a solid 60. It dips into the 50s from time to time, but it's running at 60 frames per second.
Hey, 7 years later, we finally have a polished product for Assassin's Creed.
Right. So it's things like that like really show its worth. But like the games that are coming out now, it's just the same as every launch type. It's the same as every launch system. Like there's really never anything where I need to buy this system day one. It's just.
And I would say honestly, there are more than the usual number of like games that we are pretty sure are going to be good at launch. Demon Souls, if you're into that game, looks pretty fucking dope.
Like that's crazy.
Like I know Miles can be played on PS4, but it seems like the PS5 version is going to be significantly better.
Yeah, can you look at that sharp lineup in the reflection of a window? Like that's what you're paying for.
And then on the Xbox, they certainly have a console out. So I mean that's good for them as well.
Yeah, shut up. Yeah. I was really mad when Halo got when they were like, no, Halo's not going to be, especially because like on the back of the box, power your dreams, and there's a big ass Master Chief right there, and I'm like,
have you seen the Xbox Series X commercials?
Yeah.
Have you seen old Daniel Kaluuya? I was like, nigga, what is? Yeah. I'm like, why is this? This is showing absolutely nothing. It's a waste of fucking money, but okay.
Also, I probably wouldn't get the actor who, at least when I first saw him, it was in an episode of Black Mirror, the show that is notorious for having technology turn against people and just be evil. So,
right. I was like, I didn't know what it was. I didn't even know what it was for at first. And I'm like, Xbox Series X, nigga, what? What?
And look, apparently, like if you don't have a 4K television, from what I hear, the Series S is actually not a bad console to pick up if you're looking to get an Xbox. Like I said, because it's got like the performance upgrades that the Series X does, just without the ability to have the visual fidelity and half the storage. So So there's that.
It's weird.
But yeah. But I guess, I mean, in my eyes, like, I think we hit on the head. That's why it just kind of feels a little bit different this time. Plus, like I said, with, you know, what a weird week. Like, both consoles coming out within 2 days. We had the fucking election
crazy
drama all week last week, and COVID's still going on, and it's just like life is weird right now too, which is kind of, you know, throwing a little bit of a bucket of cold water on all the excitement too. But that is it for us this week. Like I said, we'll be back with PS5 impressions next week for you guys. Don't forget to get in on the discussion yourselves as well by joining our fan group at densepixels.com/fans. Subscribe to the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, and subscribe to all the other TNP Studio shows while you're doing it. Subscribe to the channel on YouTube, youtube.com/densepixels, and make sure you are following us on Twitch. I'm densepixels Brad. Terrence is Apparition 410. Carrie is up. It's Carrie. By all accounts, a very successful Extra Life stream for her. And if you guys donated to her stream, thank you guys very much for contributing to that as well. She crushed her goal. I think she exceeded her goal of $500 by a good $300 some for the kids. So excellent job, everyone out there that did throw some money down. And again, if you follow me on Twitch, you're going to get to see some PS5 gameplay this weekend as well. Probably mostly Assassin's Creed Valhalla and maybe Bugsnax too. So we'll see what that's like. That's it. See you guys next time.
See you.
Take it easy.
You're watching the Dense Pixels YouTube channel. Click the subscribe button while you're here, and make sure you check out our weekly podcast where we discuss the latest gaming news and our impressions on what games we've been playing.